Welcome to The Explainer. The Jeffrey Epstein scandal didn't really start when he was arrested in 2019. Nope. The story actually begins more than a decade earlier with a secret legal deal. A deal that let a predator and his entire powerful network walk away from justice. Today, we're going to break down exactly how that happened. So, to really get this, we've got to start things off in a weird place. The end. Or at least what was supposed to be the end. We're going all the way back to 2007, to the truly baffling conclusion of the very first federal investigation into Jeffrey Epstein.
This one sentence, pulled from a court filing, is really the core of the entire scandal. Back in 2007, federal prosecutors down in Florida secretly cooked up this deal. And it didn't just give Epstein a slap on the wrist, it gave blanket immunity to anyone who might have been involved with him. I mean, a provision like that, it was basically unheard of.
So what even is this legal document? It's called a non-prosecution agreement, or an NPA. And usually, it's a tool prosecutors use to get someone to cooperate, to flip on other people. But in this case, well, it was used to shut down a massive federal sex trafficking investigation before it could even get off the ground.
You know, this whole controversial deal, it didn't just happen by accident. It was hammered out by some really high-powered legal figures. You had Epstein's legal dream team on one side, going up against top federal prosecutors in South Florida, a group led by the U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta. The decisions they all made in those rooms would end up being picked apart for years and years to come.
Okay, to really understand just how insane this deal was, we have to look at the criminal operation it was designed to shut down. And it was pretty sophisticated, all built around a very simple and very cruel deception.
At the absolute center of Epstein's sex trafficking ring was the word massage. That was the bait. Young women and even teenage girls were offered what sounded like a great, legitimate, well-paying job as a massage therapist. But once they were in the door, they were trapped.
And according to court documents, Ghislaine Maxwell was the chief recruiter. She was allegedly the one finding the girls, selling them on this job, and then delivering them to Epstein, all while knowing exactly what was really going to happen.
This is a page right out of a court filing. And it shows you just how crucial that massage lie was to the whole case. Prosecutors basically argued that Maxwell knew it was a total scam from the start, that the job was never, ever about therapeutic massage. It was about providing sexual gratification for Epstein.
And this wasn't random at all. It was a system. Police reports lay out the whole method. They'd target vulnerable girls, sometimes offering them a couple $100 in cash for a massage. Then, once they got them inside Epstein's mansion, that massage was twisted and coerced into sexual abuse.
All right, let's switch gears and look at the police work here. Because this whole hidden world, it wasn't uncovered by the FBI at first. It actually started with local cops in a really wealthy part of Florida. It all kicked off in 2005. A parent called the Palm Beach Police Department. They reported that their 14-year-old stepdaughter had been abused by some rich guy in a huge mansion. And that one phone call, that's what set off an investigation that would eventually expose this huge criminal network.
And the investigation it snowballed. The former police chief in Palm Beach said his department eventually identified around 40 victims. 40. Many of them were underage, and they all told stories that were chillingly similar.
And here's the thing. It wasn't just a victim's word against his. The investigators got people from inside the house to talk. Epstein's own staff, like his household manager, actually testified that they saw Ghislaine Maxwell bringing young girls to the mansion to work as masseuses.
So let's just recap. The Palm Beach police have dozens of victims. They have testimony from witnesses inside the mansion. They put together a 53-page federal indictment and hand it over to the U.S. Attorney's Office. So, how in the world did all of that evidence lead to a secret deal and almost zero jail time?
I mean, just look at the difference between what could have happened and what actually happened. It's just staggering. A real federal investigation could have meant life in prison for sex trafficking. Instead, this deal brought it all down to a couple of minor state charges. Epstein served only 13 months, and he got work release 6 days a week. And this is the craziest part, all of his potential co-conspirators got to walk away, totally immune from federal prosecution.
And this might be the most jaw-dropping allegation in the court documents. It involves one of Epstein's own lawyers, Alan Dershowitz. He was a key negotiator on this deal, but he was also accused of abuse by one of the victims. This filing alleges that the immunity deal he helped create was specifically designed to protect not just Epstein's network, but also Dershowitz himself.
So that deal in 2007, it didn't close the book on Jeffrey Epstein, not even close. All it really did was kick the can down the road. It allowed a predator and his powerful network to keep operating in the shadows for another 12 years.
And you have to understand, this immunity deal wasn't just protecting a few household employees. It was shielding a huge network of powerful people. I mean, Epstein's list of contacts reads like a who's who of global power. Presidents, royalty, CEOs, you name it. Now, of course, just being associated with him doesn't mean you're guilty of anything, but it shows the incredible sphere of influence Epstein had, the same influence that the 2007 deal helped protect.
At the end of the day, if you want to understand the entire Epstein saga, you have to understand this secret deal. It shows how wealth and connections can be used, or at least allegedly used, to bend the justice system. And it leaves us with a question that hangs over this entire affair: is justice really truly blind for everyone?